Yes.
I mean, how many times have you been married? 50?
45.
Yeah.
Don, how many times have you been married?
45.
No, how many times have you really been?
45.
You've been married 45 times?
That's correct.
How many times have you been married to people in prison?
Once.
Donald Lee Laisure Sr. was born on April 18, 1929. He served in the Marine Corps in World War II, and while many articles state that he was from Texas, I have been unable to find any census information regarding if he grew up there. Most of his census information shows the multiple marriages and divorces that he had over the years. Most of the evidence showing that he lived in Texas is from when he was an adult, of which usually he is shown to have lived in Greenville, Texas. I found a census record from 1930, though I am unsure if it is actually him, but if so, he may have been born in Kansas. Despite having been in the Marine Corps, he has lied in the past about being a retired general officer. Also, interestingly, he must have lied about his age when serving in World War II, because even if he went in 1945, he would have only been 16 years old, though I know that there are many stories in order to serve in World War II. At some point, Donald seems to have had a daughter in 1964 and a son with his wife Willa Mae in 1966. He also had a son with his wife Wilhelmina in 1958. 28, 1968, Donald Laisure pled guilty to a charge of credit card forgery, which is a felony in the state of Texas. He was given 5 years of probation, and in 1971, Laisure pawned some of his guns and then later returned to get them back. When he went to get them back, he falsely stated that he had ever been convicted of a crime which was punishable for more than 1 year. This brought more legal trouble, which can be read online, where he seemed to have argued the verbiage of whether he was really considered convicted or not, from what I understood through the legalese. He's most notably known for having married Susan Atkins. He stated that he met her on the freeway in 1965. Apparently, Laisure had been corresponding with Susan for years, and the power of ESP.
Miss Atkins, now 33 years old and serving a life term, has reportedly become a Christian, and tomorrow she will be married in a prison chapel at Frontera. The groom, Texas millionaire Donald Laisure, claims he met Atkins 16 years ago while taking pictures along a California freeway. After tomorrow's wedding, the couple will spend 72 hours alone together in a visiting unit at the prison. This infuriates the man who prosecuted Atkins.
Susan Atkins is one of the most bloodthirsty murderesses that I have ever come across in 14 years in the DA's office. And why anyone would want to marry her, especially someone who is supposedly a millionaire, I just don't understand it. I don't believe she's ever going to get out of prison. I'm going to do my best to see that she's never paroled. She's up for her 4th parole hearing on the 16th of this month.
Donald Laisure has boasted that he has enough money and political connections to win a pardon for Susan Atkins, even if it means going to the White House. Laisure, who is 52, is not one of those quiet millionaires. He uses a $sign when spelling his name. Laisure's wealth is reportedly inherited. This week, Laisure has been staying in the San Bernardino County town of Ontario, telling people that Fidel Castro has sent him a wedding present.
He said he reads people psychically, especially Susan, because he loves Susan. And he said he can feel from her, because he's feeling what she's feeling, that she did not commit any of the murders. He fully believes that Susan Atkins didn't murder anybody.
Why is he marrying her?
He loves her. He says that she is the only woman he's ever really loved.
Incidentally, Donald Laisure says he would gladly face a firing squad without a blindfold if the state would only agree to release his bride-to-be. As he waited to get married this morning, Donald Laisure was in high spirits, showing off the Texas flag and joking with friends at his hotel in San Bernardino County. Laisure claims to be a billionaire from Texas. He's not one of those quiet money types. His car is full of Texas millionaire paraphernalia. Also on the car is a picture of his bride, Manson family member Susan Atkins, now 33 years old. Miss Atkins was originally given the death penalty for the murder of 5 people, but her sentence was commuted to life.
Susan is not the girl she was before. She's a different woman. She's changed. And besides, she's not guilty. She's not guilty in the eyes of God. She's not guilty in the eyes of me, because I know she isn't. But even if she was guilty, it would make no difference to me, because I love her.
Laisure also has pictures of other women on his car, but he claims Susan Atkins is the only woman he ever really loved. His Cadillac has 4 CB radios, 4 shortwave sets, and 2 mobile telephones, just in case he wants to contact someone quickly, he says. Laisure is constantly flashing a wad of $100 bills. At least the top bill is $100, but how rich is he really?
Are you a billionaire? I don't know. You take 999 million and you add a million to it, and what have you got? A billion. Have you got a billion? Well, I would hate to stop short even at a billion. I think I could cover that easy.
You mean you could write a check for $1 billion?
I don't write checks, sir. No, sir. Depending on who you are, if I show that kind of money, you would have to be somebody who owed that kind of money to a cash transaction like Howard Hughes used to make at the airport, in the middle of the night.
Before going to the prison wedding, Laisure toasted his bride. He claims to have met Miss Atkins 16 years ago in California. Laisure also says he's been married 28 times, but it's hard to know where the tall story really ends and the Texan begins. An hour later, Donald Laisure's wedding party arrived at the California Institute for Women at Frontera. Prison officials today said the couple would not be able to spend the night together for 3 months, when space for a conjugal visit would be made available. Laisure said he's anxious to be alone with his bride, but he can wait. The 52-year-old Texan has vowed that he will help get his wife out of prison. He says they plan to have children, and off he went into the prison to get married for the 29th time. From Frontera in San Bernardino County, Doug Kriegel, News Center 4. Here are first pictures from the prison wedding of convicted murderess Susan Atkins and Texan Donald Lee Laisure. The couple reportedly held the Texas flag during the ceremony. Laisure claims he designed the bride's wedding dress. He claims it cost him $6,000.
God knows my heart. He knows I didn't kill anybody. And Donald Lee Laisure, Sr., knows my heart and knows that I didn't kill anybody. And that's all that matters to me.
Miss Atkins' husband is Donald Lee Laisure. He's sort of a professional Texan.
I swear to God, I love her. I'm in love with her. I always have been for 15 years, and she has been with me. And we want to get married, and I love her, and that's all I want to do. That's my primary commitment to life, getting married to her, having children with her, and getting her out of executive clemency.
Ms. Atkins has now served 10.5 years at the California Women's Prison in San Bernardino County. Later this month, she'll have a parole hearing, but Ms. Atkins' Laisure is not expected to be released. Incidentally, her husband, Donald Lee Laisure, may claim to be a billionaire, but people in his hometown of Greenville, Texas, say Laisure lives in a one-room apartment and has no visible means of support. In fact, one man said Laisure is the town joke.
In the meantime, what Susan
Doug Kriegel, News Center 4.
But he was lying to her the whole time. Laisure would refer to her as Honey Bear in the press. He told her that he was a millionaire, of which he wasn't, and he had enough money and power to buy Susan out of jail. Laisure stated that he had spent $6.4 million to free her and would try to get a pardon on the White House level. She found out he was lying 3 months after being married. They got married while she was in prison on September 2nd, 1981. She became his alleged 35th wife, but divorced when he reportedly wanted to marry again. They were legally divorced on October 13th, 1982. They did not have any children together, despite him saying that he loved her to death and wanted to have babies with her. Despite sources stating that Susan had the marriage annulled, they were legally divorced in the state of Texas. In an interview with the Houston Press, Laisure stated that he got divorced in Cuba, signed by Castro himself. On an episode of Maury in 1993, Donald appeared and it stated that he had been married 45 times at that point. Laisure talked big and played up the stereotype of being the rich country Texas man. He also apparently insisted on using a $sign to replace the S in his last name for Laisure. On the Maury episode, he stated that Susan was innocent, but in the 2009 interview with the Houston Press, he said that she was guilty as hell.
What did Susan Atkins do to you?
What did she do to me?
Yeah, physically.
Oh. On the 4th day at the prison during the honeymoon, I got stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
By Susan Atkins?
I never brought this to the attention of authorities all this time. In fact, we covered it up because I didn't want to hurt her chances at parole.
Susan Atkins doesn't admit this, does she, Deborah?
Oh, no. I mean, that's, like, absurd.
Okay.
You know.
It would hurt. If she admitted it, it would hurt her chances for parole, wouldn't it?
It's so ridiculous, it's beyond belief.
Don, while married to Susan, did she ever verbally admit to you that she committed the crime?
Yes, she did.
What did she
1981.
say?
She specifically stated that she wanted to get this thing off of her chest to someone, and since I was her husband at the time, she would tell me that she stabbed Sharon Tate.
Despite Laisure saying that he had been married 35 to 45 times, I can only find probably a quarter of that much, which is still a lot, of people that he had been married and divorced from. I don't know if these are all of the women that he married and divorced, but here's a small list I was able to compile. Other than that, I don't know if he married anybody else or divorced anyone else, and like I said, when he was on Maury in 1993, he stated he'd been married 45 times at that point. So, whether that's true or not, he had actually at least been married 7 proven times. On September 25th, 2011, Donald Laisure passed away at the age of 82. He is buried at the Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery.